Nutrition, nutrients, nitrate, and phosphate. This is what's worked on my tanks based on my own personal experiences as well as guidance from my mentors. If you're looking for 100% peer-reviewed science and absolute fact, this isn't it because that doesn't exist and probably won't. This is just my own personal beliefs based on maintaining reef tanks for 17 years. If there's one piece of guidance in relation to nitrate and phosphate that's proved to be the most valuable to me, it's stability, and that above all else, not perpetually rising. Because perpetually rising month after month leads only to one place: polluted water and mortalities. Then testing at least once a month is how you track the trends, stop perpetually rising, and find stability. Over the years, I've also changed my own belief or approach to emulating natural seawater levels of nitrogen and phosphorus. Now it's two approaches: a nutritionally rich focus that's focused on dissolved nitrate and phosphate that you can test for, but also now includes organic nitrogen and phosphorus, meaning protein, meaning amino acids, and prey. I've also come to terms with managing organic nitrogen and phosphorus in an artificial environment like a reef tank is just a lot harder. That's because there's so many different organisms in the tank that we're trying to optimize for, most of which have entirely different needs. They have different mouth shapes, they take different particle sizes, they like different types of food, they react during the day or they react during the night. All kinds of different factors where it's just much more difficult to adapt to their normal environment in the ocean. So that's the foundation of heavy nutrition in and heavy filtration out, just accepting there's a wide variety of organisms that we're caring for in these tanks, and they have a wide variety of nutritional needs, and the more effort we put in, the better the results. Really thinking about the particle sizes. Often in foods that have a wide variety of particle sizes measured down into the microns, or even foods that are already broken down into amino acids, which are just easier to utilize for a wide array of corals. However, in terms of stages of tanks, in a brand new tank, I avoid both excess nutrition and nutrients because they tend to feed a lot of different pests in the tank. So in this stage of the tank, I'm really caring more about an easy journey of the first year than I am about getting perfect nutrition in the tank. However, if I have a coral that I think will benefit from feeding, especially one that may look damaged or in need of help, I can target feed that specific coral. Most valuable is often using amino acids because it's the easiest for it to uptake and use. However, with an established tank that's full of coral, I approach it differently, partially because of time, but also because it's been effective for me, and I look to broadcast feeding, meaning feeding the entire tank amino acids, protein-based prey, particulate foods, and even frozen foods. Frozen foods are easy ways to add things like copepods, rotifers, cyclopods, and other microfauna that are really easy to add with those little blister cubes. Frozen can also mean things like making your own DIY food, going to the fish market or even the grocery store and finding actual types of fish or fish eggs combined with other elements that you can mix together to make a more holistic food for your whole tank. And to be frank, I've seen and experienced an evolution that is getting past the $3 blister packs of shrimp as their only approach to nutrition for the tank. We're taking a deeper look at overall holistic nutritional needs, not just adequate or survival, but looking for thrive and the best we can do this. We've seen this in all types of other pets and dogs and cats as we evolve the way that we've fed them over time, and now you're starting to see it in reefing as well. You see it in Rod's Food, who makes a collective approach to seafoods all in one packet. You're also seeing in how many people are doing DIY foods, my own personal approach to reefing. DIY frozen foods are for me because it allows me to adjust the nutrition that goes in there for the fish, not just based on a brine shrimp anymore, but a more holistic approach. And then combined with that, I can add in the things for the corals as well, particulate foods that rehydrate really well when you freeze them in there, specifically the dehydrated ones. You can also add your amino acids and other nutritive elements into the food and have a holistic approach that's not just for the fish, but for the corals too. In terms of inorganic nitrogen and phosphorus, or that nitrate and phosphate that you can test for with a test kit, I'm shooting for below 0.1 phosphate and below 1 part per million nitrate, just trying to eliminate that battery that can fuel algae and pest growth. I'm also more concerned with phosphate because I don't want to slow down coral growth, meaning poisoning of that calcium carbonate crystal, have the phosphate working its way in and stopping the growth. Now, it will happen to some degree as high as 0.1, but I just have to have a limit somewhere. I also have a goal in the other direction, meaning above 0.04 phosphate, because I don't want to limit the health or growth of the zooxanthellae or algae that lives within the coral. I also want to be above zero nitrate. Now, above zero nitrate meaning it's actually hard to test for nitrate, so I'm not looking for a specific number here, just looking for it to be at or around 1, but not below. This approach adequate for the corals and zooxanthellae, while also avoiding many of the opportunistic pests. And for me, not written in stone, acknowledging that life and deviations are okay. My third son was just born. Water changes immediately became less important than they were the day before, but they will trend back up. And that's really what it's about, is trending towards a goal. Just knowing when you're trending away so you can trend back towards it when you have the time. Also not playing mad scientist trying to peg a very specific number. And for me, filter medias that strip out nitrate and phosphate individually, more of a hammer to a solution that I can't solve in any other manner. But I'm really trying to solve those trends. And there's 3 ways to change the nitrate and phosphate trends in your tank, and they're coming up.